might remember, my husband Jay died in 1998 when he was 42 of colorectal cancer, and so I had to really take a crash course in the disease, and I continued to stay very focused on colon cancer and other cancers because I co-founded Stand Up to Cancer a number of years ago. We've raised over $800 million for cancer research. But I'm really worried about the occurrence of colorectal cancer in younger and younger patients. As you know, it is absolutely skyrocketed. Everybody please get your colonoscopy or colon cancer screening by age 45. But we're seeing a lot of people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. And what's so frustrating is scientists don't really know why it's happening. But I would love to know a little bit more about the development of this drug, and if you think it might potentially be efficacious in other sort of more run-of-the-mill colorectal cancers that aren't necessarily familial polyposis, or what's the other one, you guys? The other
Lynch syndrome.
Lynch syndrome, yeah.
So look, FAP. Just starting with that, FAP is a disease that affects over 50,000 patients in the U.S. and EU5. I think that number is probably double, because with a lot of these diseases, when there's no drug approved, patients are underdiagnosed. The disease starts in patients in their adolescence, so it's driven by a mutation, APC mutation. 75% of patients inherit it, but 25% de novo actually. So you're an adolescent and you have hundreds of polyps. And remember, every single polyp, when you have FAP, is precancerous. It can turn into colorectal cancer, actually 100% risk of colorectal cancer if left untreated. So the patients, they're 18, 19, there's so many polyps, it's hard to remove
It's
them.
like their colon is just
Carpet
covered.
bound. Exactly. And what physicians end up doing, GI docs, is they remove the entire colon. They get a colectomy. Imagine being 19 and getting a colectomy. It's a life-altering procedure. And it doesn't stop there. The disease is relentless. The polyps keep growing. So next thing, they grow in your rectum and the rectal pouch is removed. And often they grow up in your upper GI and you have to get really severe surgery such as the Whipple procedure. So my point of saying all of this is, it's relentless, it's lifelong, it's progressive, it's life-altering for the patient. And there's no pharmacotherapies, there's no therapies approved to date. Only surgeries are the standard of care. So what we had done is we used our platform, this is the novel biology that I mentioned, and we took cells and we knocked out the gene that drives the disease. And the cell morphology makeup basically looks different than when they're healthy. And this is where AI models are fantastic. They can see things that we don't know this. And it could detect the differences in that cell morphology. Then we screened thousands of compounds, and guess what? We found this compound, which is an allosteric MEK1/2 inhibitor, that does a great job of going from disease to healthy. Nobody ever had that insight that this inhibition of MEK1/2 can actually address APC loss of function. And here's the even sadder part. This is a drug that was in a pharma company and had been in pharma before that was shelved, put on the shelf for many years because it didn't work in some of the indications that they tested. This is what unbiased drug discovery looks like. You look at how to change the outcomes and you don't go in with a hypothesis of what you think is going to work. So we did the work. We just had some data in our clinical trials and we saw the most rapid, substantial, and durable polyp burden reduction ever to date. And this is one of the first examples of leveraging AI in your platform and then actually seeing an outcome that's differentiated and above and beyond what others have seen.